and in today's video we're going to look at 3 more interviews that Emma White did in those days when poor Nikki was still a missing person and we didn't know what had happened to her. Well, we still don't know what happened to her, but we unfortunately do know that she's no longer on this planet. So, as you know, Emma White, her friend, there's a lot of controversy as to how close a friend she was, but she was her friend, I suppose. She became like the spokesperson in the whole 3 weeks that Nicola was missing. Emma became the spokesperson, didn't she? And she did, I believe it's 17 interviews. After we've looked at these 3 today, that'll be 7 that we've looked at so more. So I've still got another 10 to try and sort of chase down and see if I can find or bring to you. So you know, that's a lot, isn't it? So she was very, very focal in this case, very, and she made appeals as if she was part of the family, and sometimes reporters referred to her as family, and she never batted an eyelid. She never cried. She was apart from the very first interview, which is the first one that we're going to look at today, she was always sort of eye makeup, eyelashes, you know, done up to the nines, but never actually, although her voice broke a couple of times, or it was, I'm sorry, but it was very false, because there were no tears. There was never any genuine. I think this is what has made people suspicious of Emma, isn't it? And we don't know. It might not be that she actually did anything to Nicola, but you don't get the feeling that she really cared about Nicola so much, because she just wasn't. She just never cried, did she? Or, you know, and it was quite false when she tried to cry. We'll see a couple of times probably in this video today, in these 3 videos that I'm going to look at with you. To me, there was no real genuine emotion. So maybe she didn't actually do anything wrong to Nicola. Maybe she's just one of those people. She loved the attention. She loved being on the telly. She likes organising things. You know, there are people like that. So we've got to keep an open mind in that sense. You know, was there something going on between her and Paul? We don't know. Will there be something going on between them in the future? Where is her husband? You know, because he's never been seen speaking on camera. And in fact, I noticed that little video I put on the other day of them all sort of milling around on the first day when Nikki went missing. He looked like he was actually covering his face over when he walked past. Well, he didn't know he was on camera, but when he walked past it, and he didn't even know he was on camera, and he sort of actually did adjust his hood. So it's a very, you know, these are all the things that add to the mystery of this case, isn't it? You know, why is this case so mysterious? You know, normally things are, even if, you know, Nicola had done that to herself, things are more cut and dried, and we just accept, you know, we don't sort of go analysing every single case. There was something about this case, wasn't there? And it was the interviews, etc. So far, what we've looked at, I'm going to make a back to basics playlist, because I've started this, you know, this back to basics series, if you like, of interviews going back a bit, because of course, till the 26th of June, which, at least, are we in June yet? No, we'll be in June tomorrow, so it'll feel like a milestone, like we're a little bit closer. But until then, you know, there's no new information coming out. Not even, you know, if you saw my video about the email from the coroner, wouldn't even confirm whether a Home Office pathologist had been appointed or not. I mean, that is like total. That is more than just, you know, obviously I don't expect him to tell me, you know, the results of the autopsy so far, or this, you know, the intricacies of the case. But to just confirm something like that, it's not a big thing, is it? It's not. Why is it all so secretive, even that? And the idea of that, he said he didn't want unwanted speculation. You know, it wasn't helpful, but that causes speculation. You completely withhold all information, and speculation is exactly what you'll get, especially in a case like this that's, you know, captured the attention of people all over the world. Okay, so before we go into the video, I'm going to do my usual bit of housekeeping. You can fast forward if you've seen it all before. But basically, if you want to learn Spanish, this is my other life. I teach Spanish. Been teaching Spanish for over 20 years, over 25 years probably now. And I have wrote a series of books which are available on Amazon to learn Spanish at home, or I do Zoom classes also, but the books are enough to learn at home, and there are YouTube videos that go with the books so that you can listen to the pronunciation, etc. The answers are in the back, the explanations are in English. And then the other book that I have for sale on Amazon is my Confessions of a Spanish Teacher book, and this basically is a little bit about my life, why my experiences, why I became interested in true crime, and especially women, vulnerable women who go missing, or you know, untoward things happen when relationships break down. That's explained in that book. That again is on Amazon. Vicky Riley, Vicky with an I. I need to tell you some other things. Just thank you so much for watching. The best way you can support my channel is by watching the videos, pressing the thumbs up, the like on the YouTube thing, and also sharing the videos to anyone that you think might be interested in the content. If you want to go a little bit further than that, then the subscribe is important too. I'm really happy with the way my subscribers, my chatters as I call them, it's growing slowly, but what's that word that they use so much during COVID, that exponentially or whatever, they suddenly came out with this word that I'd actually never heard before, and now people say it all the time. But yes, so it's growing nicely, if you like. I'm so happy with it because it makes me, because this is, as I say, it's not my job in that sense. This is something I do, started off as a hobby, I suppose, started off as because I was interested in the Nicola Bulley case, or any other case, serial killers. I've watched true crime for years. I've been interested in true crime, and so, you know, when it started to take off a little bit more, I've put a lot more time into it, but I enjoy it, you know. So I'm so grateful when people like and subscribe, because that shows to me that people are actually enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And if people are enjoying it, that's all that matters. Don't have to agree with me. That's the other thing I have to just make clear. This is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions I give in this video are mine. My opinions are my own. I don't expect you to think the same as me about any of this, or about any of the things I present in videos. And if you have a differing view, please let me know in a nice, polite and respectful way. The only thing I won't have on my channel are personal attacks against me or anybody else. If you've got a point of view that's different from somebody else's, just give your point of view. You'll never be criticised on my channel by me, or you know, your comment removed, if it's as long as it's respectful. But if it's like just sort of having a go at someone or being nasty, it will go. So I just let you know that now. We're making a happy place here where we can have our different views, agree to disagree, and enjoy listening to other people's point of view, because I personally really do enjoy listening to other people's point of view, because I'm always open to something that might challenge the way I think about things. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it's always interesting, isn't it? And yes, if you want to go a little bit further to support my channel, you can become a member for €1.99 a month. cancelable, cancelable at any time, and for that you get some extra content. You get to know little secrets a little bit earlier than the rest of the channel, and some extra videos. What's the other thing I need to tell you? So yes, you can also buy me a coffee at it'll be on my bio up there somewhere, or you can send super chats or super stickers or super thanks, which, as I always say, I don't really know that much about what people have sent them, so they obviously are working. But don't worry about that. Most important thing, watching the videos, subscribing, thumbs up, and maybe a share are the free ways that you can help support my channel. And it's not only about supporting it in like a financial sense, or it's the support that I know then that it gives me the I want to carry on then. I want to carry on with it because I know people are enjoying it. And obviously if I'm putting videos out there and they're not getting any views or likes and my subscribers sort of dwindle down to nothing, I've got to rethink everything again, haven't I? Because I've got to think, well, I'm doing these videos but then nobody's interested in them, so I've got to think again about the content. So it reassures me that the content is interesting, that you're finding it interesting, informative, whatever, just enjoying listening to me waffle on. Whatever it is you get out of my videos, it shows me that people are getting something out. Same with the comments. Don't forget to comment, you know, because the comments keep me going. Even the nasty, I mean, I don't really get nasty comments, but you know, well, if I do, I just delete them now because I'm just not having any trolls. I've decided that. But you know, sometimes you get comments, they're not exactly nasty but maybe a bit negative, and you know, I just have to take that on the chin and roll with that. So let's get on with this video. So yes, so right from the beginning, right from day one, Emma was there, wasn't she? Right from day one. And the video we're going to look at first, this is her very first interview.
Please.
Emma White.
Okay. Okay. And you're both friends.
Yeah, but yeah.
And just tell me, you've been out all weekend?
All weekend, we're obviously a local community. They are our friends. Everyone's pulling together just to search to bring Nikki home for her 2 little girls. We plea if anybody knows anything, share with the police. 2 little girls want their mummy home. Please help.
Yeah, so a couple of things I just want to say about that first bit. So first of all, she said we've been out all weekend, so I'm taking it that this interview was made on the following Monday. So if Nikki went missing on the Friday, and this video probably was made on the Monday. But this is the first time we hear these oh, well, first of all, look at how she's dressed there with the cap pulled right down over her eyes. It's almost like she's trying to hide her identity, whereas we see in the later videos as we go along, and ones we've seen already, she's got, you know, so different. No cap, she's got her eyelashes. I mean, it may be just that she wasn't, you know, prepared. She's thinking, oh, she's going to be on the TV, and she's thinking, oh God, I look a mess. So that could be exactly it, because she hasn't done her eye makeup or whatever, or she hasn't done her hair. So that could be the reason. I'm just pointing out how different this interview is to the rest of them. And then at the end of that short clip, we get that little cry, don't we? You know, that like, you know, please help. It's just doesn't come over as genuine. I mean, maybe I've just got a nasty mind, but I don't think I have. It doesn't come over as genuine.
And this is out of character, Heather. This is not Nikki. This is out of character for Nikki. She adores her family. She adores her girls and her husband. They're just such a well thought of family. They're so loved, and we know that if she could be, she'd be at home. So
now, Heather Gibbons, the other lady who's been interviewed there, the neighbour, I believe she's a neighbour or a friend of the family, she always comes over to me as being very sort of genuine. So, you know, I don't think it is me thinking back. It's completely different the way she's talking than the way Emma was talking, and Emma keeping her head down like that. And Heather is much more open, isn't she? And so there was a couple of things she said there, though, that were she said they're such a well thought out family, or a well put together family. It was a strange thing that she said. But anyway, and then the other thing, of course, she said if Nikki could be with her children, she would be, more or less. She says that, doesn't she? So she knows. Yeah, we've got no clue of that Nicola was wanting to escape from it all. And maybe it was an accident. You know, some people will say it was an accident that she fell into the river. I personally don't believe that, but we have to keep an open mind to all things. I really do not believe that she actually did it to herself, but anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, we just want a home with the girls. The community's pulled together. There's been an amazing turnout. The community support has been huge. Yeah, we just want to carry on our search today and hope that we get some good news.
Okay, well, I'll let you carry on. Thank you both for
you.
talking to us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yeah, call, please.
Emma White.
Okay,
Heather Gibbons.
okay. And both friends.
Yes,
That
but
was
yes,
yesterday.
yeah.
And just tell me, you've been out all weekend? What have you
All
done?
weekend, we're obviously a local community. They are our friends. Everyone's pulling together just to search to bring Nikki home for her two little girls. We plea if anybody knows anything, share with the police. Two little girls want their mummy home. Please help.
And this is out of character, Heather.
This is not Nikki. This is out of character for Nikki. She adores her family. She adores her girls and her husband. They're just such a well thought out family. They're so loved, and we know that if she could be, she'd be at home. So yeah, we just want a home with the girls. The community's pulled together. There's been an amazing turnout. The community support has been huge. Yeah, we just want to carry on our search today and hope that we get some good news.
Okay, well, I'll let you carry on. Thank you both.
Okay, so that's that short clip. We will watch it. I'll play it again now, and then we'll be going on to watch another clip of when Emma's talking. Look at the difference in this next clip.
Call, please.
Emma White.
Okay,
Gibbons.
okay. And you're both friends.
Yes, but yeah.
And just tell me, you've been out all weekend? What have you
All
done?
weekend, we're obviously a local community. They are our friends. Everyone's pulling together just to search to bring Nikki home for her two little girls. We plea if anybody knows anything, share with the police. Two little girls want their mummy home. Please help.
And this is out of character, Heather.
This is not Nikki. This is out of character for Nikki. She adores her family. She adores her girls and her husband. They're just such a well thought out family. They're so loved, and we know that if she could be, she'd be at home. So yeah, we just want a home with the girls. The community's pulled together. There's been an amazing turnout. The community support has been huge. Yeah, we just want to carry on our search today and hope that we get some good news.
Okay, well, I'll let you carry on. Thank you both
Thank
for
you.
talking to us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yeah,
To 7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone today, believe me.
Yeah, now you know what I think of this milestone word. You know, to me, a milestone is a positive thing. When I hit the milestone of 2,000 subscribers, which hopefully I'll hit soon, that's a milestone. It's a step along the way, isn't it? I don't understand why she uses milestone. Now it could just be, you know, Emma quite often uses strange words, and it might be just that she's just saying the wrong thing or not thinking it out properly or overthinking it, or maybe she has some sort of script she's working from. But always, right from the beginning, as you know, if you've watched my videos, you'll know I pointed out this milestone word just sits uncomfortably.
We're all finding it tough today, but yeah, 7 days. So we are out staying force. The community's come together once again. We've got banners printed, placards of Nikki. We've got big waving men. So our thought process is we've explored every avenue. The community's come together, the police, everybody's come trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw. So today commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been past this week, for some reason haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information.
Yeah, this one last hope, says there, that's not the last push thing, but one last hope that people could. Why is it? I don't know why she talked about the last one before Nicola's even been found, because you don't know that that's going to be the last one. Nicola could have ended up being missing for a year, 2 years, never been found. She didn't know that, so why was that the last hope? The last. It's not the last one. It's just another hope, isn't it? Or, you know, it's not the last one unless you know something we don't. But the other thing I just wanted to point out there is, I know a few channels that I've looked at have alluded to it, and it's her hair. Hair is completely different. I think she must have extensions, I think, in her hair, because sometimes it looks quite long, other times it looks short. You just can't work out what her hair's doing. I mean, I know, yes, I'm one to talk, my hair's not always perfect. Yes, have been referred to as words or gummish by one kind viewer. But anyway, yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Her hair is like it's got a mind of its own. I don't know, what is her hair like normally? Can't decide if it's short, long, in between, but I think it's probably extensions. Sorry, Emma, if it isn't. But see now her makeup and everything is so perfect. Her hair, her hair doesn't seem to be under control. I don't know, just little things that I point out. You know, people, when you're watching a video, people say things to me, and I just sort of let it wash over me. At the end of the day, I am just who I am, and sometimes I come on and I've taken a lot of preparation and getting ready, and sometimes I haven't, and when it's really bad, I've just put the avatar on now. So at least I've worked out how to do that now. But so yeah, I'm not trying to be critical of Emma. I'm just saying it is quite strange about her hair. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? That's what when I don't know something, I always say to my subscribers, my chatters, what do you think? Because I really don't know, so I like to get ideas about what your ideas are on it.
Absolutely, so surreal. You've got this feeling of great sadness, you've got heartache mixed in there with a whole load of hope, and you just can't explain the feeling that's going on.
So there's that hope again. Ever since that very first interview when Paul forgot to say hope, and then the Sky reporter reminded him that he could have hope, it has been mentioned in every single interview. So you'll see it, I'll point it out every time we're going through something. There's gone from forgetting to say it and getting a little bit tetchy because he realises he's forgotten to say, oh yeah, well, we've always got hope. And since then it's included in everything.
And then we have the two most beautiful little girls out there asking, where's their mummy, asking all these questions, and we can't give them answers. And as a family, oh gosh, they're being so strong for these little girls, and they know mummy's missing. Today, apparently, the hair wasn't quite right from one of the little girls, because that's not the way mummy does it. And I think we've touched the nation here, haven't we? She's a daughter, a mother, a partner, a sister, a great friend, and we just all want Nikki back. So if anybody has anything that they can give the police, anything, just share it, please.
There's nothing.
Now, there's a couple of little things I just want to say there. First of all, that was the interview where she said apparently the girls were saying that nobody does their hair like Mummy. You know, they were upset this morning because nobody does their hair like Mummy. I don't know who was doing their hair. Was it Emma? Was it Louise? Nicola's sister, or was it Paul having a go at doing the hair? So she says apparently, but we don't know who was doing the girls' hair that morning. And the other thing I just want to say is I've cut out the bits where Kate Garraway was asking the questions, because last time I did a video with some footage from GMB, they sort of grabbed it for copyright, and even though it was just a very short clip and I was actually talking over it and commentating on it, so I'm going to have to sort of mess about a little bit with this video to hope that it doesn't get picked up again. But she just said, the question she just asked then to Emma was, you know, you're her friend, is there anything you know that might possibly be an explanation for her disappearance? And you'll see that Emma goes on to say no. Now, of course, then we didn't know about Nicola's vulnerabilities, you know, her supposed perimenopausal symptoms, depression and alcohol problems. We didn't know about them then. So, but Emma, you'll see, she says no. Now, I don't know what the right answer would be there. Obviously, you wouldn't want her to come out and say all these things about Nikki and her supposed problems. But she may have said something, or she wasn't. I've noticed with cases like this, sometimes the families say, well, they weren't feeling themselves lately. You know, just a hint that there might be something, but not. We don't need to know the whole details. But she goes on to say no. So.
She was walking the dog, and Nikki's a great animal lover. She loves her animals. So as the family and friends, we just want to say thank you to everyone, because the strength that they're giving everybody by coming just to simple things, just sharing that little kindness, is helping so much, and it is giving us that hope. But so thank you for the media and the police and all the efforts of the community.
Yes, so notice there that she thanks them, you know, as if she's like the family spokesperson again. She thanks the media, she thanks the public. Thank you to you guys and the police, and everybody's, you know, all the media is brilliant then, isn't it? Later on they go on to savage the media in the family statement that's released after Nicola's body is identified. So yeah, it's like, you know, that these are the inconsistencies in this case that make people wonder. One minute the media and the public are great because they're helping, and the little kindnesses and the this, that and the other. Then it's, oh no, leave us alone now. Just like that, just not even a gradual dissatisfaction with the media, or right up to the day that Nicola was before Nicola was identified. You know, they complained that they'd heard from ITV and Sky News asking about how they were feeling, but they'd been in constant contact with them. You know, they'd been in constant contact with the media about the whole thing. And so obviously I expect those reporters had built up some sort of personal connection and would have sent a message to say, I was sorry to hear this, and how are you feeling? And you know, we can't forget the media, they are a news organisation, that's what they do. So yeah, they're trying to get a statement. That is what the news people do. So you can't take the good side of that when you want it, and then, you know, be disrespectful when they don't. All really they needed to do is say, we appreciate all the time and effort the media has given to us while we've been searching for Nicola, but we'd really like to be left alone now, please. Polite, respectful. They didn't have to say it, it didn't have to be said. the way it was said, and I think that's Paul and Emma who said it that way. We've never seen the whole family all together, have we? So we've not seen Dot and Ernie and Louise and Paul talking, or, you know, it's been Emma and Paul, or that one interview with Ernie, Dot and Louise. So there's a definite separation there, I think. Okay, so we're going to look at another interview now. I think it wasn't on the same day, but it's in the same place, this interview is.
2 weeks on, and still we have no evidence, information of this, the key gate here behind us, and this part of the road, Garstang Road in St Michael's on White.
No evidence, no evidence.
So we're out in force again today. The community is united once again, and it's a real last push just to jog people's memory to, oh yeah, I was passing that bridge, I've got dash cam footage, so we can try and build a picture of this area to help the police in their investigation.
You did this last Friday, didn't you? You must have been hoping that you wouldn't be back this Friday.
Absolutely, yeah, there was that hope there, and last Friday it ignited. The surge of calls into 101 was excessive. They had to have an extra team pulled onto the resources, so 101 just to answer the calls. So that,
there you go, that's the last push again. The last push, how is it the last push? That is the most thing that doesn't make sense to me out of everything she says. One last push, but this, you know, how does she know that's not going to go on for years?
and that we had that hope that, oh, something's got to come of this information. Then we had the roller coaster. We had Peter and his guys down this week, which was amazing. We can't thank them enough for coming all that way. That simple act of kindness, which was,
yeah. And there's her Crime Watch role there. She revels in that. You know, why does she revel in that so much? It's like she literally is presenting the Crime Watch programme. Why did the police not do a reconstruction? There was no reconstruction done, was there? Or by the actual police? Only, you know, all this from Emma. So what do you think? Now, we had two other things that Emma says a lot then. You know, I can't decide about the roller coaster. That's mentioned quite often by Emma in her interviews. And of course you think roller coasters are ups and downs. I don't see that there's really been any ups in this case. I mean, if she's saying that the hope was when Peter Falding came in. I suppose it was when he didn't find anything in the river, so maybe, yeah, okay, I'll go with that. So probably the up was he didn't find Nicola's body in the river, so the presumption was presumably that she wasn't there in the river, and that she may not, you know, something tragic may not have befallen her. What was it? Oh, this simple acts of kindness, and it doesn't, in itself, obviously it's not an awful thing to say, but it's just repeated so often. When you watch the videos, the interviews together, like I have been doing for these videos, you notice it, that it's a repetitive thing, that she's saying, oh yes, we've thanked these simple acts of kindness. So she has got some sort of a script. Maybe, right, giving her the benefit of the doubt, which I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's because Emma is such an organised person that she has sat down and written a list of all the things that she wants to bring up in each interview. And of course she's been interviewed by different people, so she wants to make sure these things come up. Is that a possible reason for all these recurring words like push, last push, roller coaster, simple act of kindness, and of course hope? So maybe it is, maybe she has got a list of everything she wants to make sure she says, but that is the whole problem, isn't it? It's not spontaneous. It doesn't come, they don't come from the heart, these things. Maybe that's just her personality. Maybe it's just her personality.
again, gave us great hope. We just need to bring Nikki home, whatever way it is. So that's why it's so important that we try and get some evidence of this area today that can then guide us into whichever direction it takes us. great in some respects. So it cemented the work that the police have done, and we've now narrowed down that from the bench to the weir, we can categorically say that Nicola is not in there.
So she does say there we can categorically rule out that from the bench to the weir, Nicola is not in there. Well, of course she wasn't in there, was she? She wasn't found in there. She was over the weir, wasn't she? And that is the moot point, if you like, about this. Could Nicola's body have gone over the weir? So this is for Mr. Aidley, isn't it? James Aidley, to work out. As I've said before, I don't envy the job that they've got them up, because I read into that art. You know, somebody was asking about the effects of, you know, what would the coroner know about what type of water Nicola had been kept in and how long she'd been in the water, etc. And I found this very interesting, very informative article that I did put out a community post directing people to it. But if I remember, I will add it to the description box, saying that, you know, and it was explaining what happens to bodies when they're in water for a length of time. So without going into gory details, because when I first started doing it, I thought, oh, this would be interesting to do, you know, a video, like research it properly, and then I just thought, oh no, this isn't going to work. It just seemed it would have been disrespectful, because it's horrible to think of, you know, the details. But of course our coroner, Mr. Aidley, he has to, that's his job, not only with Nicola's case, but that must be quite a difficult job, really. You know, you've got to be able to switch off from that, because even just reading that article, the more I got into it and the more I read into it, I thought, oh my God, how is he ever? Because it's the length of time, you know, that's 3 weeks nearly. I can't remember the exact days, but it's a long time that Nicola was in the water. So obviously if somebody's been recovered from the water within the first day or 2 days, you know, there's a lot you can tell. But from a long time like that, very complicated. There's honestly, if you're interested in knowing, and if you can stomach it, you don't have to look at the pictures and things. I made a mistake of going into one picture, one photo, and I wouldn't do that again. But if you can stand sort of hearing about it, it is interesting, because there's so much, and it makes you realise the massive job that James Aidley, the coroner, and his team, they've got a massive task to do. So no wonder it's so long that they set the inquest for. They could probably do with another 3 months, I don't know, but it's very complex because of the evidence that you're left with. And of course then they have to take all the other evidence in and to make sure he makes a good decision. So, you know, I don't believe that it's going to be a whitewash. I believe that James Aidley will try his very best to establish the facts of what's happened. And if you can't establish the facts, I suppose it'll have to be an open verdict. I don't know. So we'll see, won't we, nearer the time? It's but very complex job, very difficult job that he's doing and his team are doing. I don't think we should underestimate that. It's not cut and dry. It's not Columbo here, where it's just easy to, you know, or some TV program. This is the reality, and it's very, very complicated, painstaking, and very difficult assessment to make.